the United States.
Sing a song, a soldier's song with cheering, rousing chorus. I was round and pleasing choirs we throng. The story happens over us, and vision for a coming fight. But as we wait in the morning's light, in the silence of the night, we will chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to hide, and some have come from a land beyond the waves, sworn to be brave. No more are reaching silent, shall shelter the despot or the slave. Tonight we bind the body well. When Erin's cause come over, miscarries for and trifles few, we will chant a soldier's song.
You see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare from us bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Would you please remain standing? Over the last 56 years, many have attended this annual event, whether they be participants or up here, and they're no longer with us. We want to remember them, those who have left us. Over the last 56 years, over 30,000 of people have attended this one event. So with that in mind, they're the ones that kept it going all those years. Let's keep in mind their memory, whether they're here with us in the great beyond or could not make it today. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Would you please be seated?
Thank God it wasn't my fault. Can't wait. The flags are starting to go out on Pleasant Valley Street.
My son said that was going to
do not speak when other people talk. So we've been here a long time. Thank you for coming today to our 56th annual St. Patrick's Day Luncheon. Over the years, we've had 3 chairmen over those 56 years. John Buckley, David Burke, and Jack Leahy, who's chaired the event for the last 17 years. Let's give Jack a round of applause. I bring greetings from our national presidents, our state presidents, and our division president, Anne-Marie Nyan-Doherty, and myself. It's a pleasure that you took time today to join us as we celebrate the great saint of Ireland, St. Patrick. You should have celebrated on February 1st for St. Bridget, so I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, we're not going to do that with you. We're glad you could join us, as I said. We have a short program, and we'd like you to pay attention and listen at that time. At this time, it's my pleasure to call upon the acting mayor of the city of Lawrence, acting mayor Giovanni O. Rodriguez.
Hello. My name is Giovanni Rodriguez. I'm the city council president. Good afternoon. My name is Giovanni Rodriguez. I'm the city council president for the city of Lawrence. And today I'm acting as a mayor. Not acting. It's a joke, right? But 56 years is a long time. I'm only 47. And imagine 56. I'm already tired. So essentially, the mayor is not within the city today, within the city borders. He's in Colombia, and I hope that he can bring a lot of good stuff from Colombia, including coffees and roses. And essentially, we welcome everybody that come to the city of Lawrence one more time. Around the Merrimack Valley, there is a lot of ties of people from Lawrence, and we see that today. So we're going to keep on working hard for this event to stay here in the city of Lawrence for the next 56 years, because we're definitely going to welcome everybody that has lived in the city of Lawrence, that have some tie to the city of Lawrence, and we're going to promote cultures, these one as well as others. So thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Acting Mayor O. Rodriguez. You know, do you have any Irish in you? And we noticed you had a green tie. Now, have you ever heard of the CIA, the FBI, or the HIA? What do they stand for? HIA. What does that stand for? The Hibernian Intelligence Agency. And we have had people out there, and people were wondering if you really are Irish. Do you recognize yourself?
Yes.
It's from last year. It's from last year's event. And one of the people took this cup and had it tested for your DNA. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to have you open an envelope and find out if you really have Irish. And I want you to notice, this is sealed. And it says your initial. So I know it's yours. So open it up and see what this says. Go right up there and announce it.
Yes. Hey, baby.
We're going to christen you right now. Why don't you try it?
There we go.
And what color do you You love Ireland.
Yes.
That's all we have for you today. But come back next year, we'll have something else. At this time, we're going to proceed with the Fenton Award, and I'm going to read a little piece about our recipient. Certainly, his name is well known in Lawrence and the Merrimack Valley. So if you listen up, and if you're hungry, we'll get their food very, very quickly if it's flight. In 1975, the Reverend James T. O'Reilly, OSA Division 8, Ancient of Hibernians, established the Honorable John E. Fenton Award, a Citizenship Award, to honor the memory of a man who truly lived by the ideals of Hibernianism, friendship, unity, and true Christian charity. Judge Fenton, who passed in 1974, gave a lifetime of devoted and loyal service to his church, his country, and his community, and will always be remembered with great affection by his brother members of Division 8, AOH, and the Greater Lawrence community. We should say that Judge Fenton, this Judge Fenton, not his son, who many of you know, was a national president of the AOH, and he's one of the three that have come from Lawrence. Today we're honored to present the 2026 Honorable John E. Fenton Citizenship Award to Dr. Lane Glenn for his distinguished community service to Lawrence, the Merrimack Valley region, and beyond. Dr. Lane A. Glenn is president of Northern Essex Community College, the first Hispanic-serving institution in New England, which has campuses in both Haverhill and Lawrence, Massachusetts. With more than 3 decades of experience in higher education, Dr. Glenn is passionate about helping all students achieve their educational goals and is a strong advocate for closing equity groups and for colleges and universities as engines of economic and workforce development, particularly in the great gateway cities of Massachusetts. As president of Northern Essex, Dr. Glenn has led the significant expansion of the college's campuses, including the construction of a $27 million technology center, and I'm not going to pronounce it because I know Abraham Elafani Technology Center. I'm sorry, I can't read the very properly, but I can pay close. The creation of the Half California Education Center and the development of the hub, with university partnerships and the award-winning revolving test kitchen. He's also the founding board chair of the Lawrence Partnership, a private-public collaboration of business leaders, community leaders, and elected officials devoted and dedicated to economic development and improving the quality of life for residents of Lawrence, Massachusetts. A highly collaborative, energetic leader, Dr. Glenn encourages experimentation and organizational innovation. Recently, Northern Essex became the first college in the country to offer a competency-based associate's degree in early childhood education. And it's a police academy, one of the largest in the state, was the first to be accepted into the National Active Bystander for Law Enforcement training program, designed to prepare police officers to successfully intervene, to prevent harm, and create a law enforcement culture that supports peer intervention, leading to safer communities. Dr. Glenn has been described as an optimistic thought leader who actively promotes higher education in a number of publications on social media through his blog, Running the Campus. He's been nationally recognized for his advocacy with the Eduardo J. Gavron Award for Presidential Leadership in Campus Compact, the Pacesetter of the Year Award in the National Council for Marketing and Public Relations, and the Success Higher Education Leadership Award from the President's Alliance on Higher Education and Immigration. Dr. Glenn holds a PhD from Michigan State University, a master's degree from Oklahoma State University, and a bachelor's degree from Northeastern State University. And he is proud to say that he started his education at Rose State College, a community college in Midwest Oklahoma. Therefore, in recognition of Dr. Glenn's devoted and loyal service to his country, the city of Lawrence, the greater Lawrence community, and beyond, today, the Reverend James G. O'Reilly, Division 8, Ancient Order of Hibernians, is proud and pleased to present to Dr. Glenn the 2026 Honorable John E. Fenton Senior Citizenship Award. Today, Dr. Glenn, would you please come forward to receive your award? It says, the Reverend James G. O'Reilly, Division 8, Ancient Order of Hibernians, Honorable John E. Fenton Citizenship Award, President Lane Glenn, Northern Essex Community College, March the 13th, 2026. Congratulations, best wishes, and always good luck.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Hibernians. What an honor. I promised this side of the room that my acceptance remarks would be shorter than the bio. So that's what we're going for here. Really, I appreciate this recognition from the Ancient Order of Hibernians. The Fenton Citizenship Award. I'm grateful to stand here among the ranks of some previous Fenton Award recipients. My good friend Dalia Diaz down front here, Larry Giordano in the back of the room there, Dan Rivera, the others who have been up here. Oh, yeah, every side of the room, thank you. Thank you. And while one doesn't technically have to be Irish to receive this award, as Larry and Dalia and Dan demonstrated, I mean, you can be Italian, you can be Cuban, you can be Dominican. Here's something a lot of you might not know about me. Like Larry, I was a foster kid at one time. I was adopted by the Glenn family. And in my 30s, discovered my biological family, and I was born O'Reilly. That's true. I was born. So this is my 26th Irish Heritage Month, 26th St. Patrick's Day as an Irishman, despite the fact that I'm 58. So, like 35 million other Americans, probably more than that, I claim Irish roots, and very happy to do so. This wonderful organization, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, has much deeper roots than that, right? A couple of hundred years, right here in the city, 150 years for Division 8, formed not long after the city itself was chartered by the Irish immigrants who were leaving the Great Famine for the Industrial Revolution here in America. And the purpose of this organization, of the Hibernians, to preserve Irish history and culture and traditions, while at the same time providing protection and support to newly arrived immigrants and others in their community. This is vital today as it ever was. The city of Lawrence is known as the immigrant city. And after its founding by the Irish, waves of other immigrants, England, Scotland, Canada, Italy, Poland, Syria, Lebanon, look around the room, right? The Dominican Republic, Cuba, Central South America, all arriving here in this gateway city. As the leaders of this city have often said, the stories remain the same while the accents change, right? All of those immigrants have arrived here seeking their version of the American dream, and it's organizations like the Hibernians that have supported them in that search. So thank you, Hibernians, for knowing that we are a nation of immigrants, and for continuing to recognize the vital role that immigration plays in our community and for supporting our newest survivors. Marian Wright Nettleman was the founder of the Children's Defense Fund, and she famously said, "Service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy." We occupy some pretty special space here in the Merrimack Valley, don't we? Nestled along the Merrimack River that's provided that hydro and now hydroelectric power for decades to support thriving communities with the history and the culture and the economy that in a lot of ways is the envy, not just of Massachusetts and New England, but of the world, right? We top the charts in healthcare and education, family income, and every facet of quality of life. But all of those magnificent gifts aren't distributed equally, right? They're distributed unevenly. So, as Marian Wright Edelman said, service is the rent we pay for this very special space we occupy. It's my great pleasure to serve as the president of Northern Essex Community College and to serve the community through education and training and workforce development needs, to serve now as the chair of the board for Merrimack Health and to help provide healthcare needs in the valley, and to do that alongside such magnificent leaders as those previous recipients of this award. Organizations like the Lawrence Partnership, Ray Lawrence Community Action Council's in the house, and so many others, and so many others. I know Judge Fenton embodied that kind of commitment, right, to service to community. So thank you, Hibernians, for the recognition, for preserving Irish history and culture, for infusing all of us with your strength and that commitment to serving one another. And lastly, thanks for 56 years of celebrations like this, right? It's Luncheon.
We'd like also to note that some of our recipients of the Irishman of the Year are here as well, in the Irish Awards. Irishman of the Year, Joe Sipsey is also in the hall, I believe, somewhere. Joe. The Irishman of the Year, Ellen McGuigan. And the competition recipient, Dan Halloran, who received those awards last Saturday night. So congratulations. We're going to have lunch right on time, 12:45. It's 12:45. So enjoy your lunch. We're going to continue with the program after lunch. Diana DeZoglio will be coming. And let me tell you, wait to see what happens to her when she arrives. Keep it in suspense. Enjoy the lunch. And if you have any complaints, see Jack Leahy, not me. Enjoy. Having some great music in between. Now, hold on, before you have your lunch, we're going to have our invocation from our chaplain, Father John.
Well, good afternoon, good to see you all. As a native of Lawrence, I do know of the Hibernian history of the area, all the great work you've done through the years. So I thank Betty for the memory for the wonderful continuation of the Hibernian legacy in the city of Lawrence. I do want to congratulate Dr. Lane for your wonderful presentation today. It's a award well received, and we're given through this afternoon in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty, we thank you for the gift of this day to celebrate our Irish heritage, the blessings the month of March affords us to gather with friends and family in many ways to celebrate the goodness of life and the goodness of spirit. Bless our meal for our nourishment today. Help us all to shine forth the goodness and light in the world. Bless us this afternoon, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Enjoy.
We should know Father John has spoken to Bishop Pedersen, and you can eat the quantity today until it's Friday. We have a dispensation. So no problem.
Jack, how you doing? Doing all right? You guys aren't real Irish.
Basketball season, I'm going a little early. I go to Ari, so that's right.
Maybe a little early.
Good, I'm doing all right. Huh? I just got back to work about a month ago. Hello, my friend. What you doing? Good. Good. I haven't seen this. Nobody's passed each other around.
Hurry up.
the winning tunes. That's a shilling through the town on the safari. The army go here for healing toe to toe. Arm and row out for Mars wailing. Jesus, when they snows are, when you're far than any star, there is stuff on by far, that's my part of Mars. Woo! Said, holy father and great mother, that going to your wedding is the makings of another. Well, if this be so, then I'll go down a bit. Oh, kind Providence, just to make you a wedding. Oh, dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garden? And now there's my sister Jean, so handsome or good looking. Scarcely 16 and another she was 14. Now she's 24 with the son and the daughter. Here am I at 45 and I never had an offer. Oh dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garden? I can cook and I can sew, I can keep the house right tidy, rise up in the morning to get the breakfast ready. Nothing in this wide world that make me have so cheery as a wee fat man, and his name is Jim O'Leary. I'm so deary. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garden? Go! Get the parrot and he's old dearie. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garden? Yes, it's old dearie. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garden? Here we go. On we go here for tea and for toe. Arm and row out for Mary's wedding. Orioles and up and down, green and bracken ground. That's a shilling to the town of the sacred Mary.
I wasn't in the first one. Jeff Martinez did that song. This is why you can't believe any pictures.
I could walk if I really had
Someone to call me at all.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. What's going on? I haven't seen you for a long time. I didn't see you. What's happening over here? They're all over. Say hello. Lost money on the Patriots. Yeah, I know. I know. You know why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Happy St. Patty's, everybody! Friends, I came out today to say hello to all of you, to join in the celebration, to celebrate the rich culture of our community, Irish heritage. I do have some Irish in me today. I have Diana O'Desoglia. Thank you very much. Every year at this time. But friends, today we gather to honor some folks today, and I just want to take a moment to honor someone who's played a very special role in my life, and I know a lot of our lives, been a leader in this community, and I can't think of anyone better for this community to honor than Lane Glenn, President Lane Glenn of Northern Essex Community College. Great to see you. And I have a very special resolution from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts today for President Glenn, from all of us. But I think it's so important that we show up for people who show up for us, right? Who show up for our kids, who show up for our community. And President Glenn doesn't just serve in his role at Northern Essex Community College, but you see him everywhere. You see him investing in this community. He's been a mentor to me. He's been a mentor to so many of us as we try to make sure that we continue to invest appropriately in cities like Lawrence, Methuen, and Haverhill and raise up the next generation of leaders. So we wanted to take a moment just to honor him this morning and to say thank you. And this is a resolution that says, whereas Dr. Lane Glenn is a graduate of the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and whereas Dr. Glenn has served on the board of directors for the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce and Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, where he has been committed to supporting local businesses and promoting economic development, and whereas Dr. Glenn has served as the president of Northern Essex Community College for more than 14 years, empowering students and professionals across the Merrimack Valley, and whereas Dr. Glenn has been a tireless advocate for community colleges and increased access to higher education across the Commonwealth, and whereas Dr. Glenn is the recipient of the Ancient Order of Hibernians 2026 Honorable John E. Benton Citizenship Award, therefore be it resolved that the Office of State Auditor hereby extends its sincerest gratitude to Dr. Lane Glenn for his leadership and dedication to strengthening higher education and supporting students in Massachusetts. And be it further resolved that we commend Dr. Lane Glenn for his tremendous hiking skills and for his weekly newsletter that comes out to all of us that brightens up our days. If you haven't subscribed to Dr. Lane Glenn's newsletters, y'all need to get on his list because we learn a lot about his family life, his hiking, and all of the activities that he participates in the community. And be it further resolved that Dr. Lane Glenn is also a theater kid. Did you know that? He was a theater kid, just like me. So I'm going to give the mic over to Dr. Lane Glenn for him to let us know about how much he loves the Ancient Order of Hibernians. Give it up for Dr. Lane Glenn, everybody.
Thank you, Auditor Rosaglio. I won't take you all back through my Hibernian speech, but I will say, as a theater kid, a fellow sort of singer and actor and performer, the Auditor is one of my favorite musicians, so I'm hopeful that while she's here she might bestow upon us some gift of song. It's been a wonderful day celebrating with all of you. I'm grateful for the recognition from the Auditor's Office. Fabulous Merrimack Valley leader, one of our own, state level. How about a hand for the Auditor, please?
All right, y'all can start talking again. Get back to the music.
Oh, no, not yet. Come on over here, Auditor.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Can we get a photo really quick?
Oh, by all means. While you're, early this morning when we came to set up, there was this package at the door, and it said, Auditor, nothing else. Well, you're the only auditor that we know that was coming today, so we thought you may want to look at it. If you open, by all means, open it. You're going to find out. Subtitle books. getting the statement, as you can see, all the pages are blank. They don't keep track of anything. So that's the reason the state, they can't send one. We gotta send someone down to pick those books up. Now, he's with me here today. Hold on. Sometimes, you know, we got a feeling that he's not so we have something else for you right now. Hold on. Now, you were here earlier. We gave the acting mayor something, but it would be almost a win. But a little different. Now, we realize if you wear that in the state house and wear it around, it's still not paying in the power to get the book handed over. So we went to the nuclear option. The cost of all items, the cost of the item is $49.95. So we stayed right up here, don't worry about it. And Governor Bacon was here once, he asked, it's not $50, he said $49.95, he was happy. So $49.95, and that's the truth. Now, if you start wearing these around the state house, I can guarantee you, and wearing them, not just carrying them, they'll certainly pay attention to you. Here you go. Boxing glove, but not any boxing glove. Green boxing glove. Honey boxing glove. So, once you put those on, St. Patty's Day Parade on Sunday. I know last year, when you wore the sunglasses we gave you, I recognized on TV. I was very happy you did that. You don't have to use the shirt. Grab the book. You still have it.